All right, if you just joined us, it's still journalist Hangout. I still have Dr. Oladipo right here with us and Asuko James. All right, let's move straight to our next conversation. Now, wanton killings and destruction in Benue State have defied logic and lasting solutions. Hence, the security situation is a testy one. As such, the state governor Hyacinth Alia has warned politicians to seek proper clearance before visiting internally displaced persons IDP camps in the state. The caution was issued in a statement by the governor's chief press secretary, Kolas Teso, amid speculation that former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi is scheduled to visit IDP camps in the north-central state. According to the statement, Governor Alia is involved in high-profile meetings with key state actors to discuss critical issues affecting the state, hence the need for decorum. Governor Alia advised against any group or high-profile individual attempting to enter the state for any kind of visit that may generate political gathering without prior approval. Asuko, first of all, is there an underlying motive behind the actions of Governor Hyacinth Alia, against Peter Obi? Is there something that could talk to me? I don't know. Talk to me.
Yeah, well, honestly, I don't know if there is any underlying political whatever around it. But I think the governor may just be looking at protecting him. I want to believe that
protecting Peter Obi in this regard.
Yes, in this regard, because if you look at it, not that Peter Obi doesn't go to Benue often,
yes,
and just like Plateau. I know even during the elections, he was always frequent there. And I think he was also scheduled to go there. And he sent that message to the governor. From what I heard, the governor could not, return his calls. Okay. But he just made that, trip.
Yes.
Thinking that by the time he gets to a particular point, the governor will now say, okay, you can come in, But we don't know the information the governor could have gotten. Okay. And that is why I keep saying that the governors as well as the president usually get this, security intel.
Okay.
So if he had gotten that intel that, okay, that particular place that you want to go to is not safe, I think it is right for you to just respect him at that point and reschedule. There's nothing bad if he reschedules and says, okay, fine, I can't go on the 14th. Maybe I'll go on another day. I think where Peter Obi would have been angry was because maybe the governor did not return his calls, or give him, the reasons why he shouldn't go. Because from all the things we've read, he actually saw that information on just like his normal statement, like every other person, rather than getting a call through to him to say, don't come in, So, and I also want to say that for now, I know people really want to, lend a helping hand, to these states, Plateau and Benue states. It will be better that they go through the governor, before they start moving. Maybe not the governor, perhaps it might be the emergency management agency. Like them they have by Basema or something, They can go through them. Because I know when the issue about mango started, in this organization, we also did some funds that we sent to them. But nobody knew about it.
But they want to help. Do
yes,
they
that
need
is what
the
I'm
governor's
saying.
Permission to render help?
That is what I'm saying, that I'm just saying this.
Yes.
We did that. We didn't even need to call the governor because we just got the association. Can you just send your account? And then we did that. So he can do the same thing. He doesn't need to go there. He can also push whatever he wants to. And then any day that you feel that it is safe, and he can now pay that visit. Because right now, I feel that what is happening in those two states is something that everybody has to be concerned about.
Absolutely.
And so we do not want to, in quotes, politicize anything, because we don't know where the thing is coming from. If you notice, the tone of the president feels as if it's communal, it has ethnic undertone, it has religious undertone. So it is better that the president handles it in his own way, like either in a fatherly way or he handles it based on the security information he's getting. So I think for now, those who want to pay, you know, this visit, want to give humanitarian aid to people, should go through the right channel, rather than, you know, trying to, you know, force themselves into the governors and all that.
I mean, why do you think a governor would bar politicians from visiting IDP camps in their states? You know, a politician who wants to help, you have to seek permission.
Well, I've always been a huge fan of the governor.
The Benue State governor?
Yeah. And the reason is this. I don't know him personally, but there was a reverend father before him who did well for that state.
At that judge?
Yes, he did very well for that state. So my thinking was that his coming will change a lot of things and set the state on a good path to recovery from be it economic or insecurity issues and all the rest. But this decision yesterday baffled me. How will, I'm not saying it's bigger than the governor, but how will somebody of Peter Obi's stature be looking for you through your ADC for 4 days and the ADC says he can't reach the governor? We should bring these things to the table.
So you think there could be some...
There is an underlying factor. And that underlying factor, like I said earlier, from one of the topics, is that the race for 2027 has begun. And I see this as
what has 2027 got to do
Hold on,
with?
sir. Shut out this man who has been using this opportunity of this visit to become more popular or ingrained with the people. That, for me, is my reading. Because what he wanted to do, according to that schedule, was visit the IDP camp and visit some schools that are even Catholic schools. And that's where the root of both men are. That is the root of them. That's where the root is, Catholic, both of them. So I agree with Azuko. Yes, this money can be sent. For instance, the ones going to the school, Peter Obi can stay somewhere and send it. The one going to ID can. But we know that even for the governor when he was campaigning, those were opportunities for them to grant themselves with the people. So when people begin to read, when I saw that statement yesterday, my mind started thinking, who was going to visit? Who was going to visit? I hope it's not the SGF, because you know they are also not in alignment. Because that's going to be a big issue. That was my thought. I hope it's not the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume. That was my thought. I don't let there be crisis in this state.
No, but I want to believe that they want to put aside their rivalry.
No, that won't. You know, it won't end. It won't end. It won't end.
You know, but put that aside and let
it won't end.
First.
The battle that they started won't end until one of them loses out. One must lose out.
That is it.
That is it with politicians. So when I now started getting this feeler that it's Peter Obi, I said, oh, well, I hope we are not setting a precedent that we will not, now, that we won't be able to contain and curtail when elections come. Remember?
Okay. Just hold that thought.
But yes, sir.
Oh, hold that thought. Godwin calling from Yola. Godwin, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Yeah, good evening, guys.
Yeah, good evening to you.
I want to start by saying kudos to you guys for so dispassionately talking about these issues at a time it's very difficult to be a journalist. Yeah. And talking about what's happening in Benue State, I'm completely surprised and that's what we're putting politicking ahead of the welfare of the masses. For a state that has undergone a lot of backwardness under the former regime and with all the attacks, if a person like Peter will be coming in, no matter how minute, no matter how politics you are thinking, brings in the change. And I want to, I'm praying that our electorate grows to the point where we can look at people that are governing and see how they're governing and talk about re-election when the time comes. For the governors, the PDP governors you're talking about, and from a sincere standpoint, as a citizen of Adamawa, I've seen a lot of work with Fintre and all. But what I'm simply saying is that the masses should come to a point where the reason why you re-elect somebody is because he has worked. There's so much focus on politicking when people are going through a lot. And hopefully we'll get to that point. So kudos to you guys and continue to strike that balance.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, is this becoming a trend?
I was going to say, you know that there was something that happened in Bayelsa of recent, where the governor stopped the rally from holding.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this becoming a trend?
It is going to be.
That if I don't like you, don't come into my state.
And they gave themselves out today. Look at the statement that was issued by the SA to the governor, saying Peter Obi cannot ambush Benue State with charity. That's
So it means it was
They
intentional.
knew why it was coming.
Intentional.
They knew why it was coming.
Now, where do we draw the line? Acting as chief security officer,
There is nothing.
and
there is nothing
and
about,
politics.
about security.
Where do we draw the line here?
There is nothing about security in this. The last caller just said it. We need to get to a point where people can realize that we can't do politicking all year round. There must be a period for governance. There must be a period for governance. What stops you as a governor from receiving a Peter Obi and telling him, APC is your home? You too, preach to him.
Oh, preach to him.
Preach to him, convert him. APC is your home.
All right, now let's also look at IDP camps, whereby some politicians might want to target it for, to score political points or electoral points or something. How do you think such vulnerable places like IDP camps, can be safeguarded without isolating them from getting the much needed support and not being used to just score political points?
See, if I am the Benue State governor, Peter Obi comes with 50 million to these IDPs, I will make it 100 million.
Simple.
Simple. That is the
You've
way.
countered the...
Counting. Not that you stop these people from getting. Look at the school he would have visited now. Perhaps he would have dropped some 50 million there. He has helped you as a governor in part of your own governance. Imagine him getting about 10, 15 politicians coming to drop 150 million for those people. You are just going to make sure that you utilize it to your own advantage.
In other words, you think the governor of Benue State dropped the ball in this regard?
He did.
He did.
Completely.
No, the thing
Completely,
is,
sir.
The thing is, when it comes to, because I just like the caller said, we shouldn't politicize things like this. When people are going through pain, any help at all is what they need. So if a Peter Obi says, oh, I want to go to Benue to go and help, as a governor, try and get that security, in place for him. Let him go there. Let him do whatever he wants to do. The worst he will say is the government are not doing enough. But you're the governor. You go there, you do your own. You do it times 2 or times 3.
Do a counter narrative.
Exactly. At the end of the day, the people would all now say, okay, fine. They won't even remember that he came. The next thing, they would remember the governor, because that is the person that is closer to them. You understand? So,
all right, we have
politicians should find a way to, I keep saying, de-emphasize using problems, to try and gain popularity.
All right, we have Dixon from Makurdi. Dixon, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening,
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Let's talk.
My name is Dixon from Makurdi.
Let's talk.
Thank you.
Dixon, go ahead.
Thank you very much. I want to appreciate all of you. Though I would have loved to listen to my Mina. Okay. I would have loved to listen to my main man, Gideon is not here, but I want to say that today, whatever the decision of the governor, we have to some extent, respect the decision of the governor. And that is because Peter Obi is on one side The governor is on another side. Today, just as you people, most of the two speakers have spoken about the politics in Nigeria. They have just spent just 2 years, and they have 2 years still to go, and already we are talking.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that one. All right. All right. In rounding off this conversation, your parting thoughts on this matter?
No, I think the Benue State governor should, because I heard the way he sounded was as if nobody should come, no high-profile person should come. It means that even investors will not come to your state. That's what it means.
And
So
they saying the place is
should-
open to
I
investors.
want to believe that that's not what he meant. I want to believe. I want to play the devil's advocate.
No.
I want to believe that's not what he meant.
the way the statement sounded. That is how the papers carried it. So it has to soften the ground for investors to come. Benue is the food basket of the nation.
Absolutely.
Sure, you understand? So it has to soften its tone, allow people to come in.
Okay.
If they want to go to IDP, can fine. If they want to go to Makadu, let people come in. Give them security for crying out loud.
All right,
He's the chief security officer of the state.
All right, gentlemen. Let's move straight.